Welcome to Transformational Vedic Astrology. Today we're going to look at the astrological chart for Vice President Mike Pence, born in 1959 in Columbus, Indiana. So we're first going to see how the planets are operating, and we'll look and see when they're operating, and then we will see what could be done to improve the quality of the chart. So if you look to the eastern horizon, now is no birth time for Mike Pence, so this is a rectified time. If you look to the eastern horizon when he was born, you would see the constellation associated with Taurus rising at 25 degrees, 49 minutes. That becomes the most effective point of every house, and any planet close to 25 degrees, within 5 degrees, has a lot of impact, like Mercury and like Sun. So they are very strong planets in his chart. So let's see first what the benefic and malefic planets are in the chart. We know that any multicona sign, multicona means like Libra rules Taurus and, Venus rules Taurus and Libra, that it's more closely connected to Libra because Venus is all about relationships and Libra is its significations are about relationships. So the multicona sign for Venus becomes Libra. And many of the other planets rule two signs, and so one of them is the multicona sign. So the multicona signs are 1 for Aries, 4 for Cancer, 5 for Leo, 6 for Virgo, 7 for Libra, 9 for Sagittarius, and 11 for Aquarius. So wherever the multicona signs are ruling, whatever houses they rule in the chart are the main things that person comes here to learn about. So Mike Pence, you see in the 3rd house of business and communication, Cancer ruled by Moon. So he's learning about communications, a very big part of politics and his ability to communicate. And then you see the 5th sign of Leo, ruled by Sun, ruling the house of happiness through family life. Family life really important to him, learning about family life. 6th sign of Virgo in the 5th house of creativity, children, really important. His kids are really important to him. The 7th sign of Libra in the 6th house. So this house has to do with conflicts and enemies. So politics involves all of that. Then you have this 9th sign of Sagittarius, ruled by Jupiter in the house of 8th house, having to do with going into the deeper meaning of spirituality, very much into discovering more about his Christian faith. Then you have the 11th sign of Aquarius in the house of career. So Aquarius is all about wanting to do well for the greater society, and Saturn rules Aquarius, so his career is connected to service to society as a whole. And then you have the 1st sign of Aries, ruled by Mars, in the 12th house. 12th house gives spiritual emphasis on he's really involved with spiritual growth in his life. So any multicona sign that falls in the 6th, the 8th, or the 12th house can cause challenges. So you see Venus here is malefic, Jupiter is malefic, and Mars is malefic, as well as Rahu and K2. So none of these planets are close to the most effective point. So they are fairly benign, but they can cause trouble in the transit chart. So let's go see. Let's see how these planets are operating in his chart. So Sun is at 22 degrees, close to the most effective point. Gives him great leadership skills. It's in that first house. So first house giving big emphasis to Sun. Sun is politics. So leadership in politics, very important. And it's ruling the house of happiness. So happiness through politics, happiness through the fourth house, which is family. So he has had a long marriage and a good family life. Then we have Moon, which is less than 5 degrees, so it's weak. And it is ruling the house of success through business and communication. It's placed in the house of wealth, so it connects wealth through communication. He's again a great orator. That's very important in politics. Great debater. Public communication. The moon is communication, so it's connecting communication and the public and his wealth and reputation. And this is stability in this marriage. Now it is slightly weak, and he didn't get good. He got great support from his father, but his mother was not supportive when he left his Catholic faith to become an evangelist in his college years. So there is some issue there. Mars is at 10 degrees. It is ruling the 12th house of spiritual growth through letting go of attachments. And so it gives him a competitive spirit, very much connecting Mars with his faith. Mars is conjunct Venus, so Venus is this in the house of enemies. So gives him courage to fight his enemies in politics and with a spiritual nature. And so, yeah, spirituality influences his speech. Venus is also connecting to speech in the house of speech. So then we have Mercury's at 27 degrees. That is close to the most effective point, and it gives him great debating skills in politics. He won a lot of awards in college and high school and on the debate team. Mercury is ruling the house of creativity, gives creativity in his debating skills, gives children, and Jupiter is at 1 degree, so it is also weak and is malefic, can cause harm. It is afflicting Mercury, so giving strong beliefs to, rigid beliefs to his communication. And let's see here. It gives him ability to solve problems, to go deeper into his beliefs, research into spiritual beliefs, and also connects him with law. He's very reserved in his nature. I think this is, he's very reserved, and so there's some kind of holding of some secrets as well. Venus is malefic, and it's ruling this house of conflict. And so there is some conflict in his communications. So it's in the house of communications. And gives good support from wife. Venus represents wife. Saturn is in the house of obstacles, but also giving deeper meaning to his career. And Saturn itself is service, so service to humanity. Aquarius, the sign of Aquarius, being a humanitarian, being involved in politics, connects a career with with service in politics and wanting to do good for humanity and government. So Rahu and K2, Rahu gives desire for creativity, competition. K2 gives insights into relationships and gives a spiritual bent to his goals and his friendships. Now, and he can have gains through his spirituality. So his political affiliation connected with his spiritual affiliations gives him lots of votes. Let's look at the timing of events. So in the 1970s, he got a lot of awards as an orator during his Mercury or communication period. In 81, he became went from Catholicism to, he kind of had a epiphany in college and joined the evangelical Christianity, and went from he was really into Martin Luther King and equality, and he went from Democratic to Republican. Also got married and was studying law, all during Jupiter period. Jupiter involving beliefs, going deeper into spirituality and law. And then in the 90s, he struggled. Also, was in Jupiter period. He lost some elections. So this is Jupiter can also give obstacles. And Jupiter also involves law and politics as well. And that is all during also a Saturn period. So Saturn, service, politics. In 2016, he became vice president during a Mercury K2 period. K2 giving influence to gains, was transiting the house of career, so gave gains to his career. In the upcoming election, he's going to be in a Mercury Sun period. Sun is politics. Mercury is ruling this house of competition. So a lot of competition and a lot of speeches during this period. A lot of during this political period. And Rahu and K2 are going to be close to the most effective point. So if we look at the transit chart, let's just see here, we're looking at I think it's the second or the third. You see that Rahu and K2 are going to be at 26 degrees in the transit chart, close to his rising sign degree. And that means they would be afflicting 6 out of his 12 houses. So he could win, but there are some, in all the candidates' charts, there are some challenging issues. So K2 is, and Rahu are afflicting, his purpose and his relationships, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, his ability for gains, 6, 7, 8, 9, his success, and then Rahu is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, his competition, 6, 7, relationships, 8, 9, good fortune. So it'll be interesting. We'll have to wait and see how that all works out. So what could we do to improve the chart? Well, we definitely want to strengthen Moon, which would give him better support with the public. We want to strengthen Mercury, which would give him even better communication skills, because Mercury is in old age. So anything that's more than 25 degrees is said to be in old age, and less than 5, which is Moon, and Jupiter are in infant state. So the infants and the people in older age cannot promote or protect their own significations. So the other thing that we want to strengthen is Venus. No, not Venus. So Mercury, Moon, and Sun. If we strengthen those, that would give him, and you can do that through, he could be wearing a ruby, he could be wearing a pearl, he could be wearing a green emerald, or a locket called a kavash, which is a protective shield containing the Devata yantras for those planets. And then he could transform Venus by helping women. And then he could transform Jupiter by helping spiritual organizations. He's already doing that. And then men that are like brothers. So he's probably in his politics already doing some of these things. And you could also listen to the chants connected with Venus, Jupiter, and Mars. Hanuman chants. Greg wouldn't be doing that, but any kind of spiritual chants from his religious affiliation. So thank you for listening, and anybody who's interested in a reading, astrology reading, can go to vastucreations.com and sign up for any of the astrology readings. Anybody wants to learn transformation Vedic astrology, as you can see, it's quite accurate. You can go to American Institute of Vastu.com. So thank you so much for listening.